A month ago the world grew grey for me. A month ago the light went out for Rose. To her they broke it gentle as might be, but for his pal 'twas one of them swift blows that stops the heartbeat, for to me it came just killed in action and beneath his name. How many times have I sat dreamin' here and seen the boys returnin' gay and proud? I've seen the greetin's, heard his rousin' cheer, and watched old Mick come stridin' through the crowd. How many times have I sat in this chair and seen his hard chiv grinnin' over there? He's laughed and told me stories of the war. Changed some he looked, but still the same old Mick, keener and cleaner than he was before. He's took me hand and said he's in great nick. Sich was the dreamin' of a fool who tried to just crack Artie and old gloom aside. And now, well, what's the odds? I'm only one out of many who has lost a friend. Man-like, I'll bounce back again and find me fun, but for poor Rose it seems the bitter end. For Rose, and such as Rose, when one man dies, it seems the world goes black before their eyes. A parson cove, he broke the news to Rose, a friend of mine, a bloke with snowy air, and gentle soothin' sort of ways, who goes through life just umpin' others loads of care. Instead of Mick, just one rough soldier lad, you'd think he'd lost the dearest friend he had. But how can blows be softened such as that? Rose took it as a sort must take such things, and if the jolt of it has knocked me flat, well, who is there to blame her if it brings black thoughts that comes to women when they frets, and makes her talk wild talk and foolish threats? And then there comes the letter that was sent to give the strength of Ginger's passin' out. A long straight letter from a bloke called Trent. 'Tain't no use tellin' what it's all about. There's things that's in it I can see quite clear old Ginger Mick would be ashamed to hear. Things praisin' him that poor old Mick could say was comin' in too 'ot, for spare me days, I well remember that he had a way of curlin' up when he was slung bouquets. And Trent, he seems to think that in some way he owes Mick something that he can't repay. Well, perhaps he's done, and in the note he sends, he asks if Mick as people he can find, for Trent's an English toff with swanky friends, and wants help what Ginger's left behind. He says strange things in this here note it sends. He was a gallant gentleman, it ends. A gallant gentleman? Well, I dunno. I hardly think that Mick would like that name, but this here Trent's a toff and ought to know the breeding of the stock from which he came. Gallant and game Mick might have been, but then, Lord, fancy him among the gentlemen. The way he died, God, but it makes me proud I ever held his hand to read that tale. And Trent is one of the eye-steppin' crowd that don't sling praise around be every male. To him it seemed some great heroic lurk, but Mick, I know, just took with its work. Trent tells how, when they found him near the end, he starts a fag and grins all bright and gay. And when they ask for messages to send to friends, his look goes dreamin' far away. Look after Rose, he says, when I move on. Look after Rose, ma fiche. And he was gone. We buried him, says Trent, down by the beach. We put mimosa on the ground of sand. Above him 'twas the nearest thing in reach to golden wattle of his native land. But never was the fairest wattle wreath more golden than the art of him beneath. A gallant gentleman, well, let it go. They says they've put them words above his head out there where lonely graves stretch in a row. But Mick, he'll never mind it now he's dead. And where he's gone when they weigh praise and blame, perhaps gentlemen and men is much the same. A month ago, for me, the world grew grey. A month ago the light went out for Rose, because one common soldier crossed the way, leaving a common message as he goes. But every dying soldier's hope lies there. Look after Rose, ma fiche. God, it's a prayer. That's what it is, and when you sort it out, Shutting your ears to all the sounds of strife, the shouts, the cheers, the curses, who can doubt? The claims of women, mother, sweetheart, wife, and who's to hear a soldier's dying wish? And who's to look after Rose, my fish?